In the previous video, we demonstrated methods for creating a VPC. In this video, we're going to discuss what you need to do to securely connect to your VPC. We're going to look at the two types of gateways, the Internet Gateway and the Virtual Private Gateway. Then we're going to discuss making a hardware VPN connection from your data center to a Virtual Private Gateway or using a traditional software VPN. Next, we'll briefly discuss connecting over a private dedicated line using Direct Connect. Finally, we'll talk about connecting two VPCs together using peering. In our VPC demo, we created an Internet Gateway and attached it to our VPC. An Internet Gateway is a service managed by AWS that connects the Internet to your VPC. It is highly available and scales to meet your traffic requirements. For an instance to be directly reachable from the Internet, it needs to have a public or elastic IP, and it needs to be launched in a subnet that has a route to the Internet through the Internet Gateway. You may be surprised to learn that many AWS managed services, such as DynamoDB, Kinesis, SQS, and SNS, are not reachable from private subnets in your VPC. Only instances in a public subnet with public or elastic IPs can reach these services because communication with them is over the public network, which means it has to pass the Internet Gateway. Instances in a private subnet can only reach these services by routing the requests through a NAT instance or NAT gateway. Since NAT instances can sometimes become a bottleneck, AWS has started introducing VPC endpoints for some of their public services. You add a VPC endpoint inside of your VPC, and then you can communicate with the service as if it is inside your VPC. So private instances can communicate directly to the service without a NAT. The first service to support VPC endpoints is S3, an object storage service that we will cover in a later section. We can communicate with our instances from the outside using their public IP addresses. However, if you wanted a secure way to extend your private network, you could use a software-based virtual private network appliance. This gives you a secure encrypted connection to your VPC. You install the appliance by launching an AMI from the AWS Marketplace from a third-party vendor such as OpenVPN. However, AWS directly supports another type of VPN connection known as a hardware VPN. For this, you attach a virtual private gateway to your VPC and install a supported customer gateway in your data center. Like the software VPN, traffic is encrypted with IPsec tunneling. Both hardware and software VPNs use the public Internet for the transport layer. A third option, Direct Connect, does not use the public Internet. Instead, you use a dedicated fiber optic connection between your data center and a Direct Connect facility. You work with a service partner such as Equinix or AT&T to make the fiber connection and then make it cross-connect to the AWS network in the Direct Connect location. A Direct Connect location is associated with a particular AWS region. The benefits of Direct Connect include speeds available up to 10 gigabits per second, improved performance, and enhanced security and compliance. If you wanted to connect two VPCs, AWS offers VPC peering, which allows instances in two VPCs to communicate like they're in the same network. Both VPCs must be in the same AWS region, but they do not have to share the same AWS account. For security purposes, peered VPCs cannot share other connections, such as gateways or other peered connections. If two VPCs are peered with the same VPC, they still cannot communicate with one another unless you peer them directly. In this video, we have discussed Internet and Virtual Private Gateways, VPN connections, Direct Connect, and VPC peering. In the next video, we will secure our VPC using network access control lists and bastion instances.